God is good, and He is teaching me a new way to live, a better way. I am learning how to be a more godly Christian woman. I have been inspired and shown how to be more present in the home. This starts with being a good steward of my home, which starts with managing my time better. How much time have I wasted on my phone or watching TV when I could have been learning something new? I could have been in the Word with God. I want to change all of that. I want to be different. I want to be home, not working so much. My only fear is that we need my income. How can I truly be a homemaker when I feel like so much is required of me outside the home? Now, even though much is required of me out of the home in order to bring in some income, there's still time for me to really learn the skill of being a great homemaker. And it really starts with you getting a spark of passion for cooking from scratch, learning how to make delicious recipes for your family. And particularly if someone in the house isn't feeling well. And so today I'm making homemade chicken noodle soup from scratch. And I'm going to be using my homemade bone broth. And I'm going to be using this chicken that I pressure canned back in 2020. Yes, it's still safe and still great to eat, but we're at that 5-year mark, so I want to start using all my canned meat. Plus, when you're budgeting, and this is another homestead and homemaker skill to learn, is learn how to use your food storage. Learn how to can, learn how to cook from scratch, and learn how to budget your finances. When you can get yourself into this place, it just might be possible for you to save your family so much money per month that was probably going out the door. And then you'll be able to just stay home because you might find you save a substantial amount that will keep you here at the home. So when I make homemade chicken noodle soup, we're making the noodles too. And when you learn these skills of making your own things with flour, like bread, noodles, biscuits, things that people in your family would enjoy eating, that's when it really gets fun. You really start to hone in your skills. The family is nourished properly. They love the cooking. They love how it tastes. And you can feel good knowing that you put it all together from scratch. You made that bone broth. You made those noodles. You canned that chicken. There's just something so awesome about knowing that you had the skills and you did this and you're putting together the most delicious pot of soup you could ever put together. And I've made chicken noodle soup with just a couple of chicken breasts before, but it's nothing like using this canned chicken that I did myself in my pressure cooker. And I believe I do have a video on how to pressure cook meat, but you'll want to follow the right precautions for pressure cooking. So always watch several videos if you're going to go that route. But listen, if you're just getting started, just use what you have and take a couple of recipes you know your family will love and enjoy. And just learn how to cook from scratch. Maybe just 2 to 3 recipes. Get really good at them. And of course, homemakers love to make bread. You don't have to make bread, but if you can get good at making different kinds of bread. I like to make a whole wheat bread, and I even get my Vitamix out and I grind the wheat myself. I have wheat in my pantry that's clean back in the 80s and 90s. and I just made the most beautiful bread with it the other day. So you can use that food storage, even though people suggest that you don't. It was still amazing bread. So there's just different kinds of bread. Sourdough is a favorite among homesteaders and homemakers, but whatever your family likes and will eat, do that. My family didn't like sourdough bread for the longest time, but I got them into it. They like it now. I just kept feeding it to them. Now, if your bone broth is gelatinous, you did it right. Okay, so that's what happened here. I put my bone broth in the jars, put them in the fridge, and they are very gelatinous. So to get it out of that bottle was kind of tough. I had to let it melt down a little bit. If you really want to be a homemaker, and maybe you're thinking about cutting back on your job, don't totally quit your job yet. I mean, I know it's something you want to do, but let's make sure your finances are going to be okay first to do that. So can you cut back a day from work? Can you say to your boss, I'll work every day but Wednesdays? And once you have that down for 2 to 3 months, you go to your boss again and you say, okay, I still want to work here, but I'm ready to cut out Fridays too. And if your boss says, no, we're just going to hire someone else, well, then, make sure you're okay before totally cutting off that job. But if your boss is like, you know what, we value you, we need you here, we'll take whatever you can give us, then you're golden, okay? Then you're golden. So this is what I'm in the process of doing right now, is just going to my boss and saying, look, I already don't work Wednesdays, but I would also like to not work Fridays. This gives me a couple days to really do some clean out on my home and take care of my home and do some upkeep on my home and do some more cooking skills and learning new skills in the home. It's been amazing. So between really learning how to budget your finances and scaling back on your purchases, now I like an app called Rocket Money. It just helps me see what bills are coming up, what subscriptions I have, and then it helps me keep track of all of that so I can cancel subscriptions or try to negotiate lower prices on any of my bills. They do that for you. So I just really appreciate apps that are in it to really help you get more money back in your pocket. Because when you're homesteading, you are really satisfied, or becoming more and more satisfied with living on less, not buying as much stuff, not spending as much money. And then it gives you the freedom, really, because you can't beat this freedom of staying home and having your own schedule. It is so much better than going to any job out there. Trust me, I've done it all. I'm still doing things that I don't want to do particularly all the time. I'd rather be in the home. And if you're feeling like that too, you can do it. So how do you know if you even want to do this and be home more? Well, your heart's going to be calling to you. You're going to kind of dread getting up in the morning and going to work. You're going to wish you were home with your kids or your puppy or whatever's at the house, or just being a housewife and taking care of your husband and supporting him however he needs it, with you being home, making sure that you're well rested and your body's taken care of so that you're a joyful person to be around and you're not stressed out. Your mindset's in a good place. We're not always going to be cheerful and joyful. I understand that. There's just hard things that happen as we're in a human body, and especially a female body. It goes through its cycles, and it's just going to be difficult sometimes for sure. But if you can spend time with God every day, spend time listening to motivational things, turn off the news, stop watching so much TV. This is where you really become more cheerful, more joyful, as the scriptures talk about. I think the more you sit down and scroll on your phone, and you're on your phone all day, hours a day, or you're watching TV shows, binge watching shows, it's kind of like your mental state takes a tank. It goes downhill. So I would just really suggest that you spend some time learning more about homemaking, watching some videos on YouTube, seeing what other moms or just wives or women in general who are staying home are doing. And a lot of it is the basic stuff to do to keep up with a house. It's cooking, it's cleaning, it's scheduling appointments, getting people over to your house to fix things if things need fixed and you can afford it right then to do those fixings. It's taking care of the outside, it's the gardening, it's the running errands. It's really a full-time job. And that's kind of how it is being a woman. It's like if we're working outside of the home, our lives don't really slow down when we get home because there's so much to do. So that's why I just really think women will benefit so much more if they can work from home or commit to having this homemaking lifestyle full time. Because it's a busy one, but there's so much joy in it, especially when you stop wasting your free time. That doesn't mean you can't take a nap or rest your head, but it's really not indulging anymore in media or things that rile you up or waste your time or just idle you. You really are busy, and that's actually what brings you joy. And I started noticing a shift in the relationship with my children. The more I stopped watching TV or working on other businesses, when they're home anyways, and just really tending to the house, cleaning, cooking, and they could see me. They could see me walking around the kitchen and cleaning and cooking and organizing. There was something really comforting for them to see me working in the house. I wasn't in my office. Even when you're home and you work from home, a lot of times you're just not present. And that's how I spent many years. I just was not as present as I could have or should have been with my children. But as they see me in the kitchen now, when they're home from school, and I really take the time to be in the kitchen and living room areas, cleaning, reading a book if that's all done, organizing something, making dinner. It gives them a sense of, wow, mom's like right here. If I need her, I can ask her a question. There's something comforting to a child when they smell something's coming out of the oven. There's food to eat. There's security in that. And you get to provide that for your family when you're the homemaker. It's a very noble endeavor to go after. We're adding some parsley now to the chicken noodle soup, adding some herbs. This is a very nutrient-dense chicken noodle soup with that homemade broth, the canned chicken, the herbs. I put some smoky turmeric in there, salt and pepper, some onion powder, these homemade noodles. I just like to add a little bit of hot sauce too, just a little bit. Gives it a little zing. And this batch was probably the favorite batch I've ever made. Everybody loved it. Yeah, when your family's sick, this is something you really got to think about, is what can I feed them that is very nutrient dense, that's going to help them get back on their feet the next day. And I always make homemade chicken noodle soup. And I do believe my recipe is on my channel as well for this chicken noodle soup. If not, send me a message or a comment on this video and I'll try to get that posted. The joys of being a homemaker. You don't look at doing the dishes as a burden anymore. You don't look at sweeping your floor or making dinner or doing any other chores as a burden anymore. Those burdens are actually turned into joys when you really put your heart into this. You gotta want it, first of all. And if you're not ready to want it, then it might not be for you just yet. Okay, if you're already working outside the home and you think you want to do homemaking, but this doesn't appeal to you, and you're just going to sit around and you're not going to do the stuff that a homemaker needs to do, you're probably not quite ready yet. So in order to get ready, all you have to do is motivate yourself. And that just takes, like I said, watching different YouTube channels of women who are older, women who are younger, women who are middle-aged, who are all in this homemaking era, and try to find people that are where you're at with the ages of children that you have. Now, I'm in a spot where I have teenagers now, 2 teenagers, so I don't have any little kids, and sometimes that means I have a little bit more time on my hands because they are very independent. They're not right next to me, needing me all the time. So I can get tasks done a lot quicker than I was when I had littles. It took me a much longer time to get one little chore done, or making dinner or something like that. I have my full focus on these tasks because my teenagers are very independent and into their own activities right now, which is wonderful. But they do know that I'm here, so they do know they can come right in the kitchen, ask me any questions, come and chat, come and help if they want. They know I would love that. I've already expressed that to them. But I'm really just one of those moms that allows my children to be children. We have chores. I do make them have a night where they're doing the dishes, and I try to stay on top of guiding them in being part of the family dynamic. But I also don't put a lot of pressure on that, because it just adds more pressure to me when I'm cranky about it or upset about it. When I was being coached by my own coach, she would always just say, well, you're the one who seems to really want the chores done, so you're the best person to do the chores. And I used to just dread the chores and resent people for not helping so much, until I really started finding the joy in the chores. It doesn't mean I let people off the hook at my house. I mean, everybody has their night where they're helping out and working around the house, but it does mean that I don't nag or let myself get angry anymore if they don't do it. I just do it. And then when family council rolls around on Sunday nights, I talk to them about it and say, hey, you didn't get your chores done again. There's going to be a consequence for that. I had to do it again for you this week. But I really don't put a lot of pressure on my kids or myself. I just kind of let things flow. And you can be a homemaker however you want. You can be as stern as you want. There's no wrong way really to parent or be, unless you're being abusive in some way. But really, if you're just showing up in love and everything you do is from your heart to serve your family this way, it all works out beautifully. So really, step 1 is getting the motivation to do it. Go find that motivation to do it. Step 2, just start. Start working on those tasks around your house that have been neglected, and just jump in and start doing it, and see if you can't find the joy in doing those things. Just to do those things. And then next, you have to stop wasting your time. Manage your time better. Be a good steward of your time and the things that you're watching. And of course, spend time with God every day. Let Him guide you. Pray about this. Pray about how you can quit your job and come home. Pray that He'll open a way for you to do that, because He always does. If it's something that He would want for you and your family, there will be a door or a window open somewhere for you to be able to do this. This was his plan all along, was to have moms here taking care of their families while their husbands provided for them. It's a beautiful thing, it's a noble thing. And it will totally and completely transform your family dynamic. Watch your relationships grow and blossom with your children and with your husband as you put more attention in being present in the home, in learning these cooking skills, in taking care of some of the cleaning projects around the house and the organization that needs to take place. Your home just feels so different. It feels so lovely. And that's what brings the Spirit into your home, the Spirit of Christ. And everybody loves that feeling, even the puppies. Thanks for being with me today. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you want more content like this. I can't wait to share more wisdom with you as we go along. Happy homemaking.